What's up, y'all? In this video, I'll be going over the general market right now, as well as Bitcoin through the IBIT ETF. Little kitty right behind me. Anyway, so here we have the NASDAQ chart. We can see running up into all-time high, very minor contractions throughout this nice run-up um, out of this bear market. And we have volume kind of contracting up here in these highs, which could indicate another retracement incoming. And kind of same thing with SPY. Nice little move up. Volume starting to calm down a bit up here. Both SPY and NASDAQ are looking good, but I think they're a bit overextended right now with some room to pull back for sure. Especially with the volume kind of declining and calming down. It shows there's not as much demand for the indexes at these overextended prices, if you will. And then next, I'll hop to the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is picking up, but it's consolidating under its previous all-time high, which isn't the best sign. Volume really drying up. And we really want to see more progression on the Dow Jones moving above the previous all-time high. Here, I'll draw a rectangle for you. So that's about it for the Dow Jones. If I move on to the Russell is doing good. It flipped its 200 MA, 150 MA, but it still has a lot of room to, work and progress, which is kind of indicative of the general small cap market right now. It's turning up, it's doing better, but when you compare it to the large caps or mid caps or the mega caps, it's doing way less. And all you have to do to see that really is look at the NASDAQ, which is filled with mega caps, and then look at the Russell, which, filled with small caps, of course, the Russell 2000. Then here we have the VIX, very calm numbers right now. We're at 16. You want to see it under 20 for a good stable market? Yeah, we've just been hanging out under 20. It's very good. Gold consolidating, kind of a messy topping pattern. It's not doing well under its 50. Just in terms of technicals, it's not that good, but there is some type of, argument for geopolitical risk and all that, and gold's the safe haven. Silver did a good breakout from this little mid cheat handle over here, but since then it hasn't really progressed much, holding the 21 EMA as support. Now moving on to Bitcoin, let me pull up IBIT. Bitcoin has made a very interesting cup and handle pattern where it made this cup, kind of broke out the top, and then just declined back in. But the cup and handle hasn't failed. You're holding the 50 EMA, and price action generally has been contained within this range. There's been one little pullback below the low, and one squat above. But other than that, you have this clear range where if you can see Bitcoin break here, I'll get rid of this one. If you can see Bitcoin break this zone, it's pretty good sign, especially on some good volume. It's a pretty good sign we could really run up to higher levels, especially with this volume drying up like it is here. Here we have a tight handle near the upper right side of this smaller base with the volume drying up. It's providing a great scenario for a pop to the upside. That's really all I have to go over today. Oh, actually, I have to go over my spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet is kind of how I gather information on market participation. I have 5 screeners that I look at, and I see if week over week or over a certain time period that numbers are increasing in these screeners, because these screeners have tight parameters for high performance or for being close to their 52-week highs, etc. So the more stocks that are in the screeners, that means just simply the more stocks that are doing well in the market, which means a better market. And then here I go over the stocks in the NASDAQ, NYSE, etc. that are above the 200 MA, and I track the difference, between these time frames. So we have the large cap, mid cap, small cap, etc. And you see the differences. You can see small caps recently have really been improving through a heavy drought where they were doing very poorly. Mid caps improving, and large caps have been leading the way the entire time. And then I also go over breakouts. I track how many stocks in my watch list are breaking out, setting up, and then failing, just to see how the breakout market is performing. Because recently, the broader market participation has been improving, but the breakout market actually hasn't improved. So there's not necessarily more reason to breakout trade just yet, but it is definitely setting the stage for some good smaller cap, mid cap, long term breakout swing trading. But that's all for my market analysis. If you found value, please subscribe and follow my Twitter at Conrad Trading. Thank you.